Bhagavan now guides Arjuna to be a leader among men, among people who is deserving of followership. And he now goes on to give his own personal example. He tells Arjuna, Arjuna, look at me, how I am, how I go about doing my duties, and how I go about fulfilling all my responsibilities. Look at me, Arjuna. And we will come to that now. In the next 3 verses, Bhagavan talks about this aspect of look at me. Let's read verses 22, 23 and 24 all together.
न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि मां प्रजाः
Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Kinchana. Kinchana means there is nothing. There is nothing trishu lokeshu. In the 3 worlds, O Partha, that is to be done, kartavyam, by me. Nor is there anything that is unattained. Anavaptam. Anavaptam means there is nothing to be attained. That should be attained by me. Avaptavyam. Yet, O Partha, I engage in action. Varta karmani. Even though there is nothing that needs to be done by me in all the 3 worlds, there is nothing that to be attained that I have not yet attained, even then I engage in action. We notice that Bhagavan addresses Arjuna by the word Partha, essentially connecting the 2 of them in lineage. So Partha is son of Pritha. Pritha is Kunti. Krishna is son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva and Kunti are siblings. They are the children of Shurasena. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, we are cousins, first cousins. We are connected by lineage, and look at the difference between you and me. Why is it that I am so different from you and you are so different from me? Aren't we all the same? Haven't we lived our entire life the same? What has happened now, Arjuna, in the middle of the battlefield? Senayor Ubayor Madhye. Coming here, suddenly you have become different. Please remember, we are of the same lineage. We are the same. So he is prodding Arjuna's memory as to who he is, what his identity is, the warrior, the king, the prince. Sri Krishna also has nothing to gain from this war, from the Mahabharata war. Still, he has played a role that is much larger than all the other characters put together. Look at the beauty of it. Nothing in it, nothing at stake. It's not his kingdom. He's come from somewhere else. He offered help to Duryodhana even before he offered to Arjuna. Nothing is he going to take back from the war, even for his own kingdom. But he is playing a much larger role than practically every character. Each one of them put together, Bhagavan's role is bigger in this Mahabharata. As an avatar or otherwise, we see him active ceaselessly all the time. Why is that? We move on to the next verse. There he says, if I should not, what would happen? Should I not engage myself in action? Navarteyam. Navarteyam, should I not engage myself in action? Without relaxation. Atandritaha, the last word in verse 23. Atandritaha. Tandra means tiredness, fatigue. Atandra means without any tandra. Atandritaha, without any tiredness, without any laziness, without any fatigue, ceaselessly, continuously. Should I not engage myself continuously? Then what would happen? Then anuvartante. all other human beings would follow me. Remember, we talked about the eminent, the preeminent being followed. Sri Krishna is preeminent. Everyone follows him at that time, even till today. He says, every human being will follow me. He'll follow my path, Vartana, my path, in every way, Sarvashaha. Again, he addresses Arjuna as Partha, O Partha. And in this case, what does Bhagavan imply? He's saying, while he has played a larger than life role in the Mahabharata, his role of a charioteer, Partha Sarathi, his role of a charioteer is extremely special. It's a very, very special action on his part. This is like, oh bro, Arjuna, this is for you only. Only for Arjuna. Just a special gift for him. Otherwise, he doesn't need to be a charioteer, because as a charioteer, he needs to fulfill his duties. He knows that. He has taken up that role, he better fulfill his duties. And that includes mending the chariot wheels, cleaning it up every day, like a driver cleans up our vehicle, looking at the horses, ensuring they are healthy, tendering to their hooves to make sure, that they are worthy and fit to get into the battlefield, feeding them, cleaning them, going to sleep after Arjuna has gone to sleep. All this he takes up, and he implies in this verse, bro, this is for you. I'm doing this for you, Partha, because you're my brother. This is not for anything else. So over and above all the roles that you are doing, he's doing something special for Arjuna. And then he says, if I'm doing all this work, look at me. What's wrong with you, Arjuna? Karma Yoga is hard work. It's extremely hard work. Sri Ramakrishna says, staunch adherence to good and devotion to duty are characteristics of the great. If there are any lapses in the great, such as idleness, procrastination, indifference to duty, the ordinary people would gladly follow. Sri Krishna is always exemplary. When you go back and if you read through Mahabharata and Sri Krishna's story otherwise, he is always exemplary in everything. If he plays the flute as a young boy, it's fantastic. If as a baby he's stealing the makhan, the butter, that is also exemplary action. Anything and everything he does is exemplary. His conduct, his in terms of being a role model, the advice that he gives to various kings and emperors on what they should do, everything top notch. He sets the idea. And in that spirit, he continuously eggs everyone represented by Arjuna to be Samachara. In the above two verses that we just went through, Sri Krishna is talking about his action orientation, his own action orientation as an avatar. In the next verse, he emphasizes the criticality of Bhagavan acting as the creator, the Lord, the Bhagavan. Utsi deyur ime loka, na kuryam karma chedaham, sankarasya cha kartasyam, upahanyam imah praja. So chedaham, he says, if in case, if I do not, what? Na kuryam, do not perform karma, my duties, my action. Ime loka utsi deyur. These worlds, these loka, the worlds, would perish. Utsi deyur means perish. Everything would perish. As Bhagavan, if I do not perform my duties, then what would happen? Previously, Bhagavan has talked to us about creation, how the 5 yagyas work. The Brahma will not work. The other devas, all the elements of nature, all the elements of creation, they would stop working. Why? Because Bhagavan is stopping to work. They would follow him. They would all follow me, and they would stop doing their work. And when that happens, it would lead to the world perishing. Then he says, Syam karta sankarasya upanyam ima praja. So I would be, Syam, I would be karta, responsible for, the author of Sankarasya. Sankarasya is confusion of roles. People would be confused about what who has to do. If Bhagavan is not doing what he is supposed to do, he is not playing his role, everybody else is going to be confused. If a managing director of a company stops performing his role, then the employees are going to get confused as to what they are supposed to do. Upahanyam, that would destroy what? Imah praja, these beings. All the elements of creation would be confused about their roles, and it would in turn lead to their own destruction. Now, if we recollect in verse 42 of chapter 1, Arjuna brought up this Sankaro Narakasya. He brought up this confusion of roles as an excuse to not fight the war. He said, if I fight this war, I would end up killing people. If I end up killing people, people would get confused about their roles. Because they will get confused about their roles, I should not kill people, which means I should not fight this war. So I should not do my duty because confusion of roles will come up. Now Bhagavan is catching him by the neck and saying, for the same reason, to ensure that confusion of roles does not happen, we must all perform our duty, beginning with me. And he will actually describe this in much more detail in chapter 4, the next chapter. So just like the potential of a seed is known only when it sprouts and grows into a plant and a tree, the worth of a human being is known only through the actions that the human being performs. Not only that, intelligent rhythmic transaction between people, between elements of creation, even something as simple as petting your pet, even that is enabled by these actions that start from Bhagavan's actions.